Hey everyone, how you doing today? As promised, I'm going ahead and interviewing some of my students and asking them questions about one rental at a time, the book, the message, the course, all of that good stuff, because I want to hear if it's really having an impact on folks. So this morning we got Nathan with us. How you doing, buddy?
Well, thanks, Michael. How you doing?
I'm doing very well, man. You got a fancy little microphone there. I saw it was up, you're on mute, and down you're speaking. That was pretty cool.
Need that for the W-2 job, yes. And then it's just better audio, better AV for recordings.
Very cool, Nathan. Well, do me a favor, just introduce yourself quickly. Where are you in this world and where you invest and things of that nature, and we'll get into the 10 questions.
Sounds good. Yeah. So my name is Nathan. Basically, my wife and I are established in the Bay Area, and we basically invest mostly abroad or in the Midwest, basically.
Very, very cool. So, Nathan, you've seen the questions. We're just going to go through them top to bottom. So, tell us about your experience with real estate investing before you found one rental at a time.
So I didn't have a whole lot, and when I say I should really say we. It's both my wife and I. We're in this together, right? I'm the one talking now, but not a whole lot. We kind of have property in the family abroad that was never managed professionally. It was never managed as rentals. Just kind of stayed in the family.
Hmm.
We also, we obviously both have W-2 jobs, right? So we're looking at, how to, accumulate wealth, how to build wealth, how to kind of build a legacy for our children and whatnot. And we started to kind of realize that, savings accounts, stock markets, not where it's at. So we started kind of, or at least not for us, I should say, sorry.
Mhm.
And we started kind of looking at different things, and we went through a few, transactions on primaries, right? Always with kind of the mind of potentially, converting those to rentals or trying to, gain from the appreciation, things like that to get us started. And I think about a year ago or so, I stumbled across the Roofstock kind of platform,
Mhm.
marketplace, their academy, signed up for that, started doing some learning there, basically through Roofstock, the Roofstock Academy, and Bigger Pockets.
Okay. Very, very cool. So just curious, when you have real estate in the family abroad, you've used that word twice now. Is abroad US or is abroad worldwide?
Europe,
Oh, wow.
so
Okay.
extra US, yes.
Yeah, that would be abroad. Yes, good word.
Yeah.
Okay, very cool. So where did you first hear about one rental at a time?
I think you were interviewed on one of the Roofstock
Mhm.
podcasts, the Remote Real Estate Investor podcast. I think
Yep.
that's the first time I came across your name and then the one rental at a time kind of brand,
All right.
basically.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, I think I've been interviewed or had discussions with Roofstock 3 or 4 different times over the last 18 months. So that would make sense.
Yeah, and then we had in the Roofstock Academy in the book club, they also, we read One Rental at a Time,
Oh,
right, the
wow.
book, and then you came in, I think, to debrief one of the book club sessions, the monthly book club sessions. I think you attended as well. So
I
that's
did.
how I kind of got introduced to one rental at a time. Sorry.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. All right. So what did you like about the one rental at a time, either the book or message that you've come to watch?
So I think for me, it's really two things. One is like anything else in real estate, right? It's a people business. I'm a people manager in my W-2. So I believe in people, right? And I think the thing that got me hooked, for lack of a better term, right, was really you, Michael Zuber, the person, the
Mm,
candor, the transparency, kind of the say it how it is, right? And it's real easy, unedited, raw. Michael Zuber on all the things, the book, YouTube,
yeah.
podcasts, all those things, right? So I think that was a big part for me. I think the other part was really kind of just reading somebody else's story of being able to do this while having a demanding W-2 job, right? Which I think is the case for a lot of people that appreciated the book, right?
Yeah, that was a big deal for me. That was really the whole reason I even took on the challenge because writing is not my strength, right? I don't speaking is okay, right? I'm okay at that. Writing is definitely not my thing, but I felt that story had to be told because there's not enough real estate books about somebody who had a crazy demanding W-2 job and did this as what we now call a side hustle that ultimately ends in a good ending, right?
Yeah,
So I'm glad that came across. Very cool. So do you follow me on One Rental at a Time YouTube channel?
I do. I think almost willing to say I've watched every video because I watched them after the fact on 2x speed,
Oh, nice.
except some of the live. So like the daily financial, the
Yeah.
Q&A sessions, I will try to attend live, but otherwise, yes, I absolutely follow the YouTube channel.
Very, very cool. So why did you eventually sign up for the course? You know, you got the book obviously for the book club, but why'd you spend the $200 on the course?
So I was curious to see again what came with the Michael Zuber package and brand, right? Curious to see kind of what the course was like, and what I could get out of it. At that point in time, I'd already done about 6 to 8 months of Roofstock Academy, so
Mm,
another similar type, program, if you will. So I was really interested to see what I could get from that. And I think the fact that that price point is so accessible, it was, at least for our situation, a relatively easy, question and answer. Should I invest or not in this education? I was curious enough that I did, and then we've been, kind of tracking that and using, going through the lesson
yeah.
ever since.
Very cool. So as you know, having gone through the course, I come out the gate hot and really talk about two things, right? Focus and daily execution. Did that come across to you?
Absolutely, yeah,
Awesome.
no question. I think that's that one piece, like the focus and the daily execution, is the kind of the biggest, I think, takeaway for me, I guess. The daily execution, I think I was already, once I kind of drink the Kool-Aid, whatever it is, I'll just go all in, and I'll work day in, day out just to make sure,
Yeah.
I'm doing what's needed. So I focus, I did all these things with, Zillow, Realtor, whatnot. So I was already kind of working daily. It wasn't as structured, wasn't as focused. And I think that's what I got from the course,
Awesome.
basically.
So I'm curious, in that situation where you actually added focus to a pre-existing daily execution, did you actually end up saving time? Hopefully, maybe, I don't know.
I think so. I don't know if it's really in time that
Okay.
I saved. It's more in efficiency, I
Okay.
think, and efficacy of the process,
Nice.
basically, for me. I think
Nice.
that's what it was, more than time. Because
Okay.
I have 2 kids, W2. We both have W2s, COVID, right? No
Yeah.
childcare really. So it's been just, yeah, here's 20 minutes, do this 20 minutes. So that's
Yeah.
kind of what I've been doing for the last year.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So again, right out of the gate, you were responsible for building your spreadsheet. Obviously, I give you mine that I use. How'd you find that? Did you have one already, maybe from Roofstock Academy, and you just tweaked, or did you start from scratch?
So there is one, excuse me, there's one from the Roofstock Academy, but it doesn't so much kind of cover that inventory building, that daily looking at and understanding your market. They have a lot of great tools for kind of running numbers, understanding deals, things like that, right? So those I've used. I didn't really have like that understand your market inventory spreadsheet like you give, through the course. So I started off of yours, essentially the one that's provided in the course, and built on top of that.
Yeah.
For me, it was more ad hoc. It was more like a lot of you can sign up for or watch properties on all the platforms, Realtor,
Yeah.
Redfin, Zillow, whatever. And I started doing that. So it was inbox driven, really. And I think
Sure.
the spreadsheet kind of helped me build structure again around all of that.
That's awesome. And obviously, as you know, in the course, the biggest column in that spreadsheet is what I call yield. Did that start making sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a point now where as I'm typing in the numbers, looking at Zillow or Redfin, whatever they are,
Yeah.
I know exactly whether or not it's going to be, good, average,
Yeah.
bad, great, right? So that's pretty cool.
That's awesome. I mean, I believe it all boils down to one question, as you heard me say 100 times, and that is once you know average, kind of the world unlocks, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's awesome. All right. So, any key lessons from the course that you've taken away now that you've gone through it?
For me now, it's the private money section. I know
Okay.
it's newish, right?
Mhm.
You're still adding to it, and
Yep.
that's really, I think, where at least I'm at in kind of the real estate investment journey and our real
Okay.
estate investment journey. Those are the big pieces that are newer to me from an education perspective, right? So I think a lot of the rest of your course, again, other than the structure, the focus, and all of that, some of those basics, for lack of a better term,
Sure.
I got from, Roofstock Academy, things like that. So I was more familiar with them. I'm much less so with kind of the money piece that you're adding. So I'm really appreciating that right now.
Very, very cool. Would you recommend the course to someone else?
I already have. So
Ah,
absolutely, yeah.
there you go. That's awesome. And then what about the private Facebook group that I added I don't know, I guess the last 6 or 9 months or so. What are you active in that or what?
So I'm not a very active individual in social media, period.
Yeah.
So I'm not super active on Facebook. I do go in every so often, and I think just yesterday, the day before, good interactions with other students and people there. So it's great. There's a ton of value there. Obviously,
Yeah.
just I'm more active in other circles, and
Sure.
there's again only so many hours in a day,
Yeah,
right? So you
no.
got to
Yeah.
pick and choose the ones you go to. But yeah, for me, I love the value of like the community,
Yeah.
this one or any other, but
Sure.
a community that you can interact with, and it's definitely there in the Facebook course, this Facebook group. Sorry, I see that. It's just I don't use Facebook that much. So
Yeah, I believe me, I feel you. I didn't have a Facebook account until after I retired because I was like, I already got enough stuff going on. I don't need something else to absorb
exactly,
time.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, but it's proven to be really cool. For me, it was first that repository where FAQs, if you will, frequently asked questions. But now I've seen it morph into networking and interactions. I just call it the happiest place on the internet.
yeah,
It's a lot of fun.
and for posterity, right? You'll
Yeah,
have that forever. Well, hopefully, who knows
yeah,
what
exactly.
Facebook does,
As
but
long as they let me have it.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Very cool, Nathan. So this has been a lot of fun. Any kind of closing thoughts from your standpoint about the course or the message or the book or anything?
No, I think I covered it all, right? Like I said, I've already recommended it. I would continue to recommend it. I think it's really for getting started. It really makes things real, simple, clear, to the point, focus. So, as we all know, there's so much, or as you're
Yeah.
intimately familiar with, right? There's so much in real estate investing that when you start, you don't know where to look, and this helped a lot kind of focus. So that was great, and I definitely recommend.
Nathan, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for doing this
Absolutely,
early
Michael.
on a Sunday, man. Take care.
Absolutely. Take care. Bye.
All right. Bye.